Hi, it's Tulsi. Now, you've probably been seeing those transformation videos where people are turning ordinary supermarket celebration cakes into massive, pricey wedding cakes. Well, that's what I'm doing today. Except I've been challenged to turn this army of Collin the Caterpillar Cakes into an £800 wedding cake. So here's a little history lesson for you all. Marks and Spencer's were the original creators of this caterpillar themed cake. It was released back in 1990, which is like 30 years ago. Crazy. Right, I've got 5 giant Collin the Caterpillars here and some mini ones. So it's a bit tempting not to open one and cut into one, just to see what we're working with. And I'm pretty sure every child has had this for their birthday at one point. It is also every chocolate cake lover's dream. It's chocolate sponge with chocolate buttercream, covered in this milk chocolate coating, sprinkled with Smarties, and it's got this cute white chocolate face and little feet, just for that extra detail. All right, let's cut into this. Oh, I don't know where to cut. Oh, it feels like my birthday. It's like bringing back childhood memories. I used to ask for this every year. Right, let's have a look. Oh, that looks so good. Just as I remember it. Super spongy, full of chocolate. You'd go so hard here after this. Yeah. Okay, let's try it. Oh, that tastes so good. That's literally nostalgia right there. It's really good.
Take it another way.
This is my breakfast. Now, before I go off and start planning what seems like an impossible task, don't forget to hit subscribe and follow us for more videos. I have no idea how this is going to work or where to start, so let's get planning. Okay, so I've gone away and I've had a long think about how I'm going to go about turning these caterpillar cakes into something I can stack and something that will look expensive. So here's what I've come up with. I'm going to cut these up into slices and I'm going to smush them down into our wonderful tins. And then hopefully I will have 4 round cakes that don't look like caterpillars. So once I've got my 4 cakes, I'm then going to coat them in buttercream, or actually ganache, because I think that's going to hold it together a bit more and make it a bit more stable so it doesn't fall apart on me. And then I get to decorate, which is the fun bit. So I'm thinking I'm going to do like blush tones because I feel like that's quite modern. So the top 2 tiers will be white, keep it a bit traditional, and then the 3rd tier I'm thinking we'll do a marbled kind of sugar paste look. And then for the final tier, we're going to do a kind of mixed blush tone textured sugar paste look. So that will be a bit of an eye-catching modern pop on a wedding cake. And then finally, to help ramp up the cost of the whole cake, I've decided to make a whole load of sugar flowers instead of using fresh flowers. It's gonna take a while. I don't even know how long, I don't even want to think about how long it's gonna take, but I should be left with a wedding cake that hits the £800 mark. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm obviously going to start on the cakes first. And to do that, I'm actually going to have to skin poor Collin. So I'm so sorry. But yeah, so I'm just going to take all the chocolate off, or attempt to. Okay, we're actually going to save all this chocolate. We don't want to waste any, so I might use it in the cake. Probably mix it with my ganache, but you don't want to waste any because that would be a crime. If not, just eat it. Okay, that's all done, and this is what I'm left with. I am a bit concerned because it's actually not a lot of cake, and I'm left with all this chocolate, so I am going to turn it into ganache, but a bit concerned because there are little bits of cake in there still, so that might make it a bit bitty.
Okay, go.
Okay, so I did some more thinking about how to create a more sturdy structure for the cakes so they don't just collapse in on themselves. And to do that, I'm just going to make some of this cake into cake pop mix by adding in some buttercream and just going to smush it all around until it's mixed nice and evenly, and I can press it against the sides of our tins, and then I'll go ahead and fill them with the Collins. Yes, all I do is think about this cake. I'm just going to have to go over my hands. Okay, that's all done, and that actually went pretty smoothly. I've smushed them all up the sides and they look pretty sturdy, so that's good. Now he mentioned I was going to start cutting the caterpillars up and putting slices in, but the lovely Pauline suggested putting them in kind of whole rolls, if that makes sense, just so that it's a bit more sturdier when you cut it and it's not just going to fall apart, which is a great tip. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I've compacted my first layer of Collins right in there, and then I've just got some buttercream, and I flavoured mine with raspberry just so it cuts through the chocolate. When I had the slice earlier, it was super sweet and it got a bit sickly. I did finish it, but I feel like the raspberry is going to cut through the chocolate really nicely. So I'm just spreading the buttercream evenly over my first layer, and then I'm going to add another layer of Collins and compact that in really nicely and set it in the fridge overnight. This is also going to keep the cakes really nice and moist. So I'm just putting the second layer on, and I'm really pressing the cake in together so it sticks and it won't fall apart. Making sure that there's as little air bubbles as possible. Okay, that's done now. I'm gonna do the other 3 now and pop these in the fridge overnight. So we will see the results tomorrow. Okay, so now with the chocolate that I took off Collin, I'm gonna make a ganache. Now I have a feeling it's gonna be quite bitty, as there's a lot of cake in there. So I'm just doing a 3:1 ratio. So it will kind of firm up quite nicely. Well, I'm hoping it will. I'm gonna heat this up and let it set before we use it. Okay, so I've made my ganache and I have let it set for a bit, and it doesn't look great. Like I said, all the cake has made it really bitty, a bit congealed. It looks like mud. And I'm gonna try it. Ew, it's really textury. No, it's just got like, it's really grainy. It tastes like it's got bits of sugar in it. It's just not nice and smooth like you'd want buttercream or ganache to be. So that would be interesting. And I'm not looking forward to icing it because it also looks split. Yeah. So I've left these in overnight and they're pretty solid. It's gonna work. It's gonna come out. So I'm gonna flip them out onto a board, but I'm gonna cut the top of the acetate off so I can just put the board on. That's off. It's not going out. It's not going out.